me cater to you. Let me cater to you. Let me cater to I wanna let you know, girl, that you know that I am what you do. So let me reassure you, my life will be purpose without you. If I want it, I'm gonna ask you. Flying to be better, challenge me for the better. What do you let me cater to you?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And we just want to give a good shout out, a good celebration for Naomi Judd's death. Yes, we're supposed to be celebrating when they leave us and go back home with the Savior. It's better to be present with the Lord and absent from the body. Absent from the body, present with the Lord. Okay, and we know Wyona was going to miss her mom, because that's what kids do when they don't have their parents in their lives. They miss them. But they knew that Naomi, their mom, was in a lot of distress, a lot of mental distress. She suffered from, I guess, more so depression and just feeling worthless about her life, and being here on this earth was kind of torture from her, more so than not. She suffered from mental illness, and again, I'm thinking it was I guess she was hearing voices or something, and she was just listening to the voices bring her down versus listening to her family members. But when you have a disorder such as mental illness, it's hard to recognize what's right, what's wrong, what's real, and what's not real. And I can't imagine what Ashley felt when she found her mom. But, you know, she knew, or her sisters in the family knew, when their mom was with them and when the illness was taking over. So it's with a heartfelt, for lack of a better word, heartfelt condolences to the family. For Naomi Judd. She was a country music singer, and actually her daughter was an actor. I don't think she was musically inclined, but she took on the actressing role, or the actress role. And I don't know if y'all remember, but she played in a movie called Double Jeopardy, and that's where I got introduced to Ashley Judd, Naomi's younger daughter, the one that found her. But I was proud of the sisters, and especially Ashley, coming up in the media world and telling what happened to her mom prior to bloggers and big magazines coming out and saying what had happened to their mother. You know, them basically telling their own story prior to someone else telling the story. So I was like, okay, alrighty then. Good for you. Because who's going to tell it better than you anyway about what happened to your mom? Even though how your mom left this world was kind of cruel and unusual. But, you know, from what I understand, an autopsy was going to be done anyway to just rule out foul play. Because you have a lot of people out there that really feel they can take out their parents, meaning the kids, because they don't have some type of disagreement or something, always dealing with money and, you know, that type of situation. But Naomi always reminded me of Dolly Parton. For some crazy reason. I didn't get them mixed up, but I always thought when I saw Naomi, and I think Reba McEntire as well, they all kind of looked the same but had different features. But I always respected them, and like I said, Dolly Parton, watched her not necessarily her singing ability, but I got introduced to her when she was in that movie 9 to 5, and then she played in Steel Magnolias, and that's how I came to start liking Dolly Parton. And of course, when she was with Burt Reynolds, I think it was Burt Reynolds. Her and Burt Reynolds were playing in some movies together, but I'm not really quite sure. So don't quote me on it. Don't hold my feet to the fire on it. But New York Post did an article on her. Well, I don't really want to use that one. Let me just find another one so we can get some background. But the Judds are or were an American country music duo composed of lead vocalist Wynonna, and that's Wynonna Judd, and her mom Naomi. The years they were active singing together was from 1983 through 2022. Okay, they originated in Kentucky, Ashland, Kentucky, and they basically had multiple signing contracts to different or various record producers, but the latest one was in Nashville with RCA, and it was pretty much a troubling story to bring out, but like I said, Ashley did a wonderful job when she clocked her own family's tea before somebody else basically did. But we do have a story from Variety. It was written on May 12th by Mr. William Earl and J. Kim Murphy. They titled it, Naomi Judd Cause of Death was a Self-Inflicted Firearm Wound, Daughter Ashley reveals in New Interview. And I remember, I think I was at work when I found out that she had died, but I wanted to know why she died and how she died, so I was waiting pretty much on some intel or more credible information to come in of what she did or who killed her or whatever. And it did come out that she actually killed herself. She shot herself. We don't know what body part. I'm thinking the head or in the mouth, but just is what it is. But they said self-inflicted gunshot wound or firearm wound. But it goes on to say Naomi Judd, the country music icon who died on April the 30th at the age of 75, died of a self-inflicted firearm wound. Her daughter Ashley Judd disclosed on Thursday morning on Good Morning America, because she made an appearance on the show, and Diane Sawyer actually interviewed her regarding the situation. It goes on to say Ashley Judd made an appearance on Good Morning America to speak with Diane Sawyer about her mother's death and how the Judd family had been coping in the weeks since. She said her family wanted to control the flow of information about the death before an autopsy was released. Like I was saying, they was trying to rule out foul play. So it goes on to say she used a weapon. My mother used a firearm, Ashley told Sawyer. So that's the piece of information that we are very uncomfortable sharing, but understand that we're in a position that if we don't say it, somebody else is going to. I'm like, you right on point, Ashley, you right on point. So I'm glad you came out to social media and clock your own family's tea. It's better that way than they or someone else control the narrative and make it bigger than what it is, and then take it out of proportion and make another whole story develop on your mother's name. So that was good that you and the family sought out to just tell everybody in one swoop of a explanation, and so it could be behind you. But going back to the article, it said Ashley said that she was deputized by her family to discuss her mother's death in order to shed light on the disease and shine a light on a path for fans that need help. My mother knew that she was seen and she was heard in her anguish, and she was walked home, she said, adding, when we're talking about mental illness, it's very important to be clear and to make the distinction between our loved one and the disease. It's very real, and it lies. It's savage. Yep, that is kind of like a silent killer. It gives you clues, but you never know when that person will actually, do it to themselves eventually. So, yeah, it's very sneaky. It lies, just like Ashley says, and it makes a person seem like they're uh, looking at a new horizon when actually they are looking for their demise. So it's a very tricky disease. No one can really pinpoint it. You can't be ready for it because it comes in many different forms, and you just have to ride the storm along with the person that it's affecting, pretty much. Okay. Ashley also said that despite her mother's intimate induction into the country music Hall of Fame, she wasn't able to keep facing the disease. Our mother couldn't hang on until she was inducted into the Hall of Fame by her peers. She said that this is the level of catastrophe of what was going on inside of her, because the barrier between the regard in which they held her couldn't penetrate into her heart, and the lie the disease told her was so convincing. Ashley also detailed her mother's final day. It was a mixed day, she said. I visit with my mom and pop every day when I'm home in Tennessee. So I was at the house visiting as I am every day. Mom said to me, will you stay with me? And I said, of course I will. I went upstairs to let her know that her good friend was there, and I discovered her. I had both grief and trauma from discovering her. She also encouraged fans to reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255, if they need help. In a statement released by Ashley Judd and her sister Wyona, immediately following their mother's death, the two attributed her death to the disease of mental illness. Today, we sisters experienced a tragedy. The statement said, according to the Associated Press, we lost our beautiful mother to the disease of mental illness. We are shattered. We are navigating profound grief. And now that as we love her, she was loved by her public. We are in unknown territory. On the day following Naomi Judd's death, the Judds, a musical duo composed of Wyona Judd and her mother, was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in a tearful ceremony. I didn't prepare anything tonight because I knew Mom would probably talk the most, Wyona told the audience during the induction. I'm going to make this fast because my heart's broken and I feel so blessed. It's a very strange dynamic to be this broken and this blessed. Though my heart's broken, I will continue to sing because that's what we do. Okay, and that article came from Variety, magazine. And we just want to celebrate her life, her accomplishments, and her dreams that were fulfilled. And we definitely wish condolences to the two daughters that she left behind, and any grandchildren, grandkids, and the husband that was left behind as well. We send all our condolences and our prayers for them. So always and every day, and when you're just thinking about it, say a little prayer for the family, because prayers go a long way and the Lord hears them. And we just want them to definitely have not so having heavy hearts, but to actually grieve and come back to us, because they have a lot to offer and still instill in the world, even doing a foundation in regard to their mother's death, like giving her a foundation, talking about mental illness, and just being very transparent, because we have a lot of family members that go through these things. We have friends that go through these particular avenues of navigating any type of mental illness or disorder. And, they just want to, the people that are experiencing it, they just don't know how to navigate. So it's very, very, it's a tricky disease, like I said. So just always be loving and kind to one another and with your family members. Even if you had to kind of put the white gloves on and, treat them in a loving, kind way and try to understand more so than being judgmental towards them. So that's all I have. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And always send prayers up for those we love and those we lost, and the ones we're commemorating on this channel today. And that happens to be Naomi Judd. So as we always say in our family, it's better to be present with the Lord, absent from the body, but present with the Lord. Okay, and hopefully all their sins were forgiven. Hopefully they were blessed to have accepted Jesus Christ into their life, so their souls won't be lost for eternity. But that's all I have for this video, guys. So celebrate her life, not her death, and she will definitely remain in our hearts and minds through their music or her music. Okay? And that's all I got for this video, guys. Get down in those comments and express yourself. You can even talk about anything that's going on with what you're going, because it's better to talk about it and have someone help you out than to suffer in silence. All right, that's all I got, guys. Be blessed. Bye-bye.